Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today here at Storytime. Thank you for taking the time out to be here with me, Miss April. I'm so glad that we get to share this time to dive into this great story that I have here. It's tough to be gentle. It's a tale about a dragon, and it helps us learn that it can be tough to be gentle, but let's see how he deals with this issue. So this is going to be illustrations by Cindy R. Lee, and Cindy R. Lee is going to be our author. She does a great job capturing her story. Now, as usual, I love to share a piece of scripture with each and every one of you. So let's look into this letter Paul writes to Ephesians. Okay, so it's going to be from the book of Ephesians chapter 4. So here's Ephesians chapter 4. In the English Standard Version, I will begin here at verse 1. It says, I therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you are called to one hope that belongs to your call, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. Okay, wow, there's the one Lord of our lives here, that we can in its body be unified in one spirit. So let us do this and live life in humility and gentleness. Humility is not to think less about yourself. I hope that is clarified to you, and if not, let me tell you, it is to be thinking not to humiliate yourself, not to think less about yourself, but to think less of yourself so you have room to think of others before you. And so you're looking to help others constantly, and also ultimately putting God before yourself and seeking his ways, his gentle ways, because he is the ultimate gentleman. He's the ultimate example of humility for he became flesh. He came here and he dwelt among us, and he came to the world that he created, and he came to give us that gift of salvation. So that's what we celebrate this season. Jesus is the reason for this season. I hope everyone has a great holiday and is having a great time, spending time with their loved ones, and just, reminiscing of everything that God has done for us. So let us celebrate God being in this world with us at a time, but still is through his gift here of his presence. So let us continue to learn. I think, in terms of our growing days, we learn that we need to be more gentle. We need to be more careful. We need to think of others. We have to foresee things. These are all things that we want to learn so that we're able to treat others well and lovingly. So, it might be tough, but let's see how our main character deals with this. Let's get started, everyone. In our front inside cover here, I see our main character with a halo and a creature here. I wonder who this creature is, but it looks like this creature gives him peace, a sense of belongingness, and also a feeling secure. Okay, so this is good. I love that. And I love here, looks like mommy bird and her babies are over here. Let's see how this relates to her story. Let's get started. It does offer some tips. It tells us situations here of scenarios where there's a lack of gentleness or kindness, or that need to grow in gentleness and kindness for your children, or just children that you can apply this. You can ask questions. You can do activities here to be more gentle and kind, so that you're able to grow in those characteristics. I love that. So these are great tips here again, and activities that you can do, and things that you can look into. I love it. All right, so here's our first page. I see Dex, our main character. Dex was a very rough dragon. He squeezed things too tight. He touched things too hard. Dex loved to play, but sometimes Dex played way too rough. So he's tearing up. He sees that his toys are breaking. He sees that he is a bit too rough, but it looks like he wants to change. So Rex, hold on here. Hold on. Don't lose hope, okay? Well, who's he approaching? He's approaching here. Mommy Bird. So Mommy Bird and her babies on a tree branch. Well, one day Dex found a Mommy Bird and her babies. Dex said, Mama Bird, may I play with your beautiful babies, please? And what a valid question. He asked Mama Bird. Okay, so he asked, can I please play with your babies? We're gonna have so much fun together, but I know that I might be a little bit too rough. I'm sure that he's thinking this, and I know Mama is thinking the same thing. And then she says, oh no, Dex explained, Mama Bird, you're way too rough. You must be gentle and kind to play with my precious baby birds. So I understand, but you're gonna have to be gentle. You're gonna have to be kind. I don't know if we could do this at this time. A sad Dex walked away. He soon met a bear gathering honey. Mr. Bear, could you help me be gentle and kind? Sure, Dex, he answered. The only way to get honey from the hive is to be very gentle. If you are too rough, the bees will sting you. What a great way to practice gentleness. Good job, Mr. Bear. So he's helping Dex. Okay, go ahead. Reach for the honey. But you gotta be really careful. You gotta be gentle. Okay, let's see how Dex deals with this test. Dex tried to be gentle, but he was way too rough. The hive fell quickly to the ground. Bees attacked him and stung him all over. Look at the bees swarming towards Dex, and he got stung by them way too many times. Well, a very sore Dex told the bees that was not very kind. When we are afraid, we fight, confessed the bees. Dex apologized for scaring the bees and very gently put the hive back on the branch. So it looks like he felt bad, and he's trying to explain that he's trying to be gentle, and the bee said, we're sorry, but we do this when we get scared. We sting people, we fight. Okay, well, he's gently putting it back on the branch. And painfully, Dex sat down and wiped a tear from his eye. Mr. Raccoon saw Dex and offered to help. I can help you be gentle and kind. Let's go get dinner out of the trash, said Mr. Raccoon. If you are not gentle, the trash can will crash and make a loud, scary noise. Okay, all right, so I'll be very careful. Here's another test, another opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Raccoon, for helping Dex feel like he has another chance. And so he goes forward with it, and let's see what happens. Dex tiptoed gently up to the trash can to take a look. He was very excited when he saw some food. As he wiggled into the can, it got tighter and tighter as he is trying to reach food at the bottom of the trash can, right? So the trash can came crashing down with a very loud bang. Mr. Raccoon was startled by the noise and ran away as fast as he could. There's Mr. Raccoon running away from this commotion. No, I can't handle this. This is too much. And he's over here still diving to grab the food. So as Dex saw Mr. Raccoon's tail in the distance, he shouted, "Come back, I found a veggie burger for us." Mr. Raccoon kept running, and Dex frowned. Dex very gently cleaned up all the trash without making any loud noises. He grabbed the veggie burger and ran after Mr. Raccoon. So he still want to run after him and tell him, I really tried my best here, and look, I made a mistake. I made noise. Yes, I made a mess, but guess what? I got us what we were trying to do. We were trying to get food, and here it is. Well, when Dex found Mr. Raccoon, Dex said, "Leaving me alone was not very kind." "When I am afraid, I run away," replied Mr. Raccoon. Dex apologized for scaring Mr. Raccoon and gave him half the veggie burger so he could fill his belly. Okay, so he confessed, I run away when I'm scared, Mr. Raccoon says. I fight when I'm scared, the bees say. Okay, so let's see here. he meets a new friend. A skunk appeared and declared, "I smell something yummy. Here you go, Mr. Skunk. You can have my veggie burger," said Dex. The skunk thanked Dex and asked, "Is there anything I can do for you?" "Yes, Mr. Skunk. Could you help me be gentle and kind?" Mr. Skunk replied, "Sure, you can give me a big hug. But if you squeeze too tight, I will get scared and spray you with my stinky spray." Okay, here's another chance, Dex. Let's see if you get a little bit better here. Being gentle, being kind. Well, Dex leaned down to give Mr. Skunk a great big hug, but he squeezed way too tight and sprayed. Dex was suddenly covered from head to toe in stinky skunk spray. All the smoke all around the page is Mr. Skunk spray because he got scared. So he sprayed his skunk spray. "That was not very kind, Mr. Skunk," Dex grumbled. "When I get scared, I fight back with my stinky spray," admitted Mr. Skunk. Dex gave Mr. Skunk a very gentle hug and said, "It's okay, I understand." So here he is giving him another hug, and he's doing great. He is gentle in his hug. Wow, good job, Dex. A very sticky, dirty, and stinky Dex walked away feeling sad. Dex really wanted to play with the baby birds. "I'll never be gentle and kind," mumbled Dex. Just then Baby Bird exclaimed, "Dex, you were gentle and kind when you put the hive on the branch, when you picked up the trash, and when you hugged Mr. Skunk the second time. I know Mama Bird will let us play with you." He's so excited. He's like, "I am gentle and kind. I'm so much more now." Okay. And Dex was so excited he ran back to the nest to ask Mama Bird for permission. Mama Bird again, he says, "May I please play with your babies?" Mama Bird was surprised when she saw the very messy Dex. She said, "Yes, Dex, you can play." But, so she says, "Yes, you can play. Dex, you can play with my baby birds. I let you. I saw you. You were sincere in being gentle and kind more than you were before, and you were practicing." So she says, "You're gonna have to, but do this though. Okay, not until you take a very, very long bath, and then you could play with my baby birds." And here's Baby Birds helping him take a bath, as we see here. Oh, wow. So they're already spending time together, scrubbing his tail, making his bath a little bit more bubbly. And then you've got here a little bit of a tissue, and then spraying here water. So it looks like they're having such a great time together, and everyone is having a lot of fun, treating each other very nicely and carefully. So here's other books Cindy Arley has written. I'm so glad we spent this time to read about Dex. And so whether it's Dex or yourself or anyone who's struggling with being more gentle and being more kind, let us have that first step of having a good heart, wanting to change for the better. And we see that it worked out for Dex. Yay, I'm so glad that he was able to, spend time with the baby birds, because there was something that needed to be done before he could do that, and that was to become more gentle and kind. And he got there. We're so excited for Dex. We're so excited for each other because we can encourage one another all the time in the same spirit. Hey, you can do this. You can do this. I know you can. Just hang on there, okay? You'll eventually get there. Yes, let us continue to not lose hope and to lean on to God to help us become more like this or that. And so he knows the way. So let us follow his example, and let us continue to see what the word says about all of these things that we need to work on. So thank you so much for taking this time with me. I'm so glad that we're able to spend time together to read stories and to share stories and to just encourage one another and be here for one another. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. Take care, everyone. Bye. Stay warm. See you. Bye.